Hi, so this is the first of three holiday vlogs. I was planning on putting them all together into one video, but then when I started editing it, it basically was going to end up being about a 45-minute long video. So I'm going to split them into the three cities, one for Berlin, one for Frankfurt, and one for Amsterdam. And first up is Berlin. Now, I didn't actually really record any bits of me speaking over the clips when I was filming them, so I'm just going to go through and add a voiceover to any bits that I think need a bit of extra explanation. And yeah, the rest of the time you'll just have some music in the background, so enjoy! In Berlin, there's this area called Museum Island, which, funnily enough, is where all their main museums are. And we had bought this pass called the Berlin card, which was basically got you on all of the main transport networks, so trains, underground, buses, everything. And we paid for the version which also included free entry to all of the museums at Museum Island. And we only actually went to one of them during the holiday because we had only 3 days and we had to pack lots of stuff in. And this is the Pergamon Museum. And I've not been at a museum before where they've had all of these massive structures, like the fronts of castles and palaces and things, just completely rebuilt in the museum. So it was really, really cool to see all that stuff up close. And they also had things like carpets and rugs and things from buildings. But yeah, it was a really, really good museum. I would definitely recommend going to visit it if you're in Berlin. And this little bit here is outside in the Museum Island area, so you can see the other museums. That building I just passed is actually the cathedral, and there's a kind of fountain and stuff. Next up, we went into the DDR Museum, which isn't part of Museum Island, so we had to pay a bit extra to go in here. And this is kind of where you can experience life in Berlin around, I think it's the 70s. So yeah, there's like little cars that you can go into, and There's, you know, kids' toys, and there's food sitting around, and there's like a film you can watch about the new housing developments around that time. And it's just quite a cool way of kind of going in and seeing what life was like around those days. And this is the recreation of a little house. So this is the living room area, and then there's also a bathroom, which you'll see in a second, a little toilet there, and a kitchen area as well, which you can see through a little hutch in the living room. And actually, that sofa there, we had an almost identical sofa to that in my old house when I was younger. A kind of velvet ribbed greeny brown coloured sofa. So yeah, that was quite funny to see that they had something quite similar back in the day in Berlin. And this room here was kind of more about government stuff and policing and things. So this was supposed to be a desk in, I think, like the president's room, so you could sit at that and pretend that you were important. And there's also a prison cell here, which we went into. Finally, on day two, we went to the Berlin Wall Memorial. Now, there are still bits of the Berlin Wall up, which you can have a look at, but they've also put representations up, which are all those brown metal bits that you can see in the video as well.
So I'm going to give you a little tour of our hotel room. So when we got here, we were upgraded to a suite. So we have a bedroom area here with a big super king size bed and some cool like artwork stuff which lights up at night behind the top of the bed. And this is my bedside, and we've also got a balcony with a cool light thing, which is like a big ball. Again, that's lit up at night as well. This is our TV area, so I've got all like my makeup and things set up here, and some of my toiletries, and then my hair stuff as well. Clothes are here, and a safety deposit box as well. Some cool little hooks for our coats. And I've put my jewellery on here as well. And then we go through here. There's like a little cubby hole for, we've put our chargers and things in here. And this takes you through into our living room. And we've got some seating here. A TV. So yeah, there's two TVs. A little fridge. And then there's a nice hanging bird cage thing here, which I really like. And then out the window you can see the view. So if I kind of zoom in there, you can see that's the TV tower, which is like one of the tallest buildings in Berlin. And over there, just to the left of the kind of statue thing which is outside, you can see the top of the Berliner Dom, which is the cathedral. And yeah, we're not really sure what this metal structure is outside, but it lights up in purple at night time, which is quite cool. And also in the window here, this tube lights up bright green at night as well, so it gives the room like a bit of a glow. And I don't know if you can see, yeah, there's this cool structure thing outside, which I think we're going to go out and have a look at before we leave today, because every other morning it's been raining and we've been in a rush. But yeah, it's some kind of piece of art which looks really cool. It's like a big ball with sort of furniture stuff in it and things. So that's our hotel room. I'm not going to bother showing you the bathroom because my boyfriend's in the shower. And yeah, it's a pretty standard looking bathroom. Again, it's all in like the lime and white. And yeah, this is our hotel. We are about to go up this tower here.
Now, we'd originally planned to hire bikes and go for a cycle around the Tiergarten, but then when we got to the place to hire them, we didn't realise that you need to bring some sort of ID with you, like your passport or something, to leave with them, and we didn't have any of that with us, we just had cash. So, unfortunately, we couldn't hire any bikes, so we just went for a walk through the park instead. But actually, it was nice and relaxing, and it was really, really peaceful as well. There was hardly any people about, and it was really just quite nice to have a walk around. And the weather was nice for one of the only times during the holiday that it didn't rain. So there was a couple of lakes and things that we stopped at for a little break, and then continued through to the other side, where there's the Bellevue Palace, which is where Angela Merkel, the Prime Minister or President of Germany, lives. And yeah, it's just generally a nice place to walk around. It's basically like a big forest in the middle of the city, and you don't really feel like you're in a city when you're walking through it. So it's a nice, peaceful way to spend an afternoon if you're in Berlin. Now, this part is probably what we were looking forward to most on the holiday. Both me and Blair are obsessed with abandoned buildings, and abandoned theme parks are like the king of abandoned buildings. So, we were really excited to find that there is a theme park in Berlin which you can take tours of on a Saturday and a Sunday. I think I've read online like some people have just sort of broken in themselves and had to walk around, but there is security with Dobermans going about. So yeah, we didn't really fancy just giving that a go ourselves. And the tours are only, I think, €15 each, for a 2 hour tour around the park. So we thought it was better to go with that, and then that way we'll actually know what we're looking at and make sure we don't go into dangerous areas. I will say though, the tour is completely in German, so it's maybe not ideal if you don't speak German, but the woman who was taking us around, she does speak English, so we could ask questions, and she did little bits in English for us as well, mainly warnings about do not go in this area because it's very dangerous. But yeah, so I took loads and loads of footage going around the theme park because it was just really exciting to go around and see all of these abandoned rides and everything, and you know the kind of park is growing around all of these old tracks for the log flume and the roller coasters and things, and just generally it's just really, really cool. So yeah, there's quite a lot of footage coming up on the park, going around all the old rides, and then all the bits where the shops and things like that were as well. So if you enjoy looking around abandoned buildings, hopefully you'll find this next 5 minutes or so quite exciting. So that is my Berlin vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sorry that it ended up being such a long video. I didn't really think I had that much footage filmed, but apparently I did. Next up I will have a Frankfurt vlog, which will be a bit shorter because we were only there for 2 days and I didn't film anywhere near as much footage as I did for Berlin. And then after that I will have an Amsterdam one, and that will be even shorter because we were only there for an afternoon and I think I only filmed a couple of times. So they'll be coming up later this week, and I'll also be writing blog posts with lots of pictures and a bit more information about what we got up to on the holiday. So I'll put a link to my blog in the description box as well, and keep an eye out there for those posts coming later.